Analysis of the three treasures of life: affection, love, and sex. Xiefeng. October 26, 2023. Affection, love, and sex are the three treasures of life. All living beings, from plants, insects, animals to humans, as long as they are alive, possess these three treasures. All plants, whether trees, flowers, or grass, possess affection. When they are cared for, they thrive, their flowers are vibrant, and their fruits are fragrant, sweet, and large. If they are harmed, they wither, weaken, and die. Plants also experience fear and anxiety. Even a single flower, when nurtured by a loving person, flourishes, while the same flower, when nurtured by someone with hate, cannot thrive no matter how it is cared for. The shade provided by plants, their offerings, and their colors, all express their love. Plants engage in pollination, which constitutes their sexuality and sexual activity. Most of the plants that do not flower, or bear fruit also have male and female distinctions. Even trees like poplars, willows, and grasses have male and female distinctions. There is an exchange of elements between the male and female parts, which is their sexuality and sexual activity. All things have affection, referring to life. The connotation of affection determines the level of a life. The narrower the emotional domain, the lower the level of life; the broader the emotional domain, the higher the level of life. For example, if a person only has affection for one or a few people, their emotional domain is narrow, and their life level is low. If a person has affection for all people, their emotional domain is vast, and their life level is high. If a person not only has affection for people but also for all beings, for mountains, rivers, land, sun, moon, and stars, then that person is no longer an ordinary mortal but has reached the level of gods and belongs to the realm of heaven. Love is a sign of the non-material structure of life. If a person only loves a few people throughout their life, the non-material structure of their life is not much different from that of animals and may even be less extensive than that of animals. If a person loves all sentient beings, then that person is not an ordinary mortal but has reached the level of angels and bodhisattvas. The more objects of love and the broader the scope of love, the more perfect the non-material structure of a life. Love is a state manifested by life, and this state does not change in the slightest due to different environments or objects. As the saying goes, the orchid grows in a secluded valley, not needing people to appreciate its beauty. If someone falls in love with another person because of their wealth or power, this love is not born from life itself but is driven by self-interest. Therefore, love that is spoken is not true love; love is manifested, not spoken. Sexuality is a characteristic of the structural composition of life. Every species has its unique sexual characteristics, but all life forms share a common feature: the exchange of energy with the opposite sex. Only the opposite sex can satisfy one's sexual desires. When a life receives sufficient energy from the opposite sex, it can manifest relatively perfect characteristics. If sexuality is suppressed and sexual desires remain unfulfilled, the individual will be in a pathological state, exhibiting emotions such as anxiety, restlessness, irritability, and even violence. They will vent these emotions through behaviors like anger, jealousy, resentment, and brutality. Their psyche will become imbalanced, leading to internal conflicts and a decline in the capacity for love, eventually drifting towards the lower realms of life. If a life loses affection, love, and sex, it is no different from a stone; it loses vitality and life. If a person lacks affection, love, and sex, they become like a mummy, a walking corpse, nothing more than a physical automaton. Therefore, affection, love, and sex are the three treasures of life. People may possess nothing, but they cannot lack affection, love, and sex. The broader the emotional domain, love domain, and sex domain, the higher the level of life; the narrower the domain, the lower the level. Why did Jesus Christ say, "In heaven, there is neither marrying nor giving in marriage"? It is because once there is marriage, the emotional, love, and sex domains become narrow, making it unsuitable for life to exist in heaven. To become an advanced life form, one must fill their heart with love for mountains and rivers, love for the universe, and love for the destinations they are destined to reach. Regardless of the environment or circumstances, one must consistently express their love, beauty. They must fully satisfy their sexual needs because sexual freedom is the ultimate freedom of life.